Good Thursday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. It's great to be back. Before we get to today's top news stories, let's take a look outside that weather window. And boy, a lot of the weather today is what we've been seeing over the past week or two. A lot of low-hanging clouds and just some cold temperatures out there. This shot looking down at the Wenatchee Valley from our Omi Gardens Sky-Fi Tower camera. As you can see, a lot of those low-hanging clouds once again today. And as we move through the rest of this week, and especially, folks, as we get into the upcoming weekend, we have snow in our forecast. Really the first, I think, chance that we will see some snow on the ground. Not so much for us on Friday, maybe a little bit of light snow, but boy, Saturday night and especially into Sunday, that's the chance that we will see for some white, and we could see maybe 1 to 3 inches. We'll talk more about that and much more coming up a little bit later on in the weather forecast. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Wenatchee police are asking the public for help as they try to figure out how a man who was found unconscious last month in downtown Wenatchee had suffered an injury that proved to be fatal. An Orondo firefighter saw a car being driven erratically, then roll on Highway 97 Wednesday morning. And the driver suspected of fleeing multiple police agencies as they investigated a vehicle prowl now faces charges in 2 counties. But first, we begin tonight. A Pateros man who allegedly displayed a rifle and warned his house was wired to explode is jailed after a 7-hour standoff with police on Wednesday. 55-year-old David Kenneth Carpenter was booked into the Okanagan County Jail early this morning. Sheriff Tony Hawley says Carpenter stood on his porch with a rifle in the 600 block of West Ives Street and then threatened to shoot Pateros city workers replacing a water meter on a nearby home. When police arrived, he allegedly refused to come out of the house and said it was wired with explosives. The standoff led to a lockdown for Pateros schools, and some neighbors were evacuated. Carpenter exited the house and was taken into custody about 6:58 p.m. Hawley says a search of his home found several firearms, but no explosives. Wenatchee police are asking the public for help as they try to figure out how a man who was found unconscious last month in downtown Wenatchee had suffered an injury that proved to be fatal. Wenatchee Police Captain Edgar Reinfeld said 39-year-old Carl P. Fleeman Jr. had arrived in Wenatchee on November 25th. That was the day before he was found fatally injured near 7 South Wenatchee Avenue. Reinfeld said police initially responded to a report that a man had been beaten with a baseball bat, but there was no evidence of that. An autopsy later could not confirm a cause for his internal organ injury. Police first encountered Fleeman the day he arrived in town when he is reported to be loitering in the lobby of Spring Hill Suites on North Wenatchee Avenue. The next night, about 7 p.m., they received a report of Fleeman acting erratically inside Albertsons. Police are circulating a photo from surveillance footage at Albertsons and another photo of Fleeman taken at Harborview Medical Center the day he left on a bus for Wenatchee. Reinfeld said Fleeman was not being treated for the internal injury at Harborview. Police are looking for any photos or videos that show Fleeman's activities here in Wenatchee. An Orondo firefighter saw a car being driven erratically and then roll on Highway 97 Wednesday morning. Incident Commander Scott Carter then sprang into action and rescued the driver as the vehicle caught fire. Douglas County Fire District 4 Chief Jim Odie said Carter saw the vehicle, believed to have been stolen, being driven at a high rate of speed and swerving off the road several times before it rolled on the side of the highway. Carter said the driver was trying to get out of the car, but the doors were jammed. Carter then broke a passenger side window and pulled 24-year-old Jorge Cruz to safety just before the vehicle became fully engulfed. Cruz was transported to Central Washington Hospital with what were believed to be minor injuries. The Douglas County Sheriff's is investigating Cruz for possession of a stolen vehicle. Well, the driver suspected of fleeing multiple police agencies as they investigated a police prowl now faces charges in 2 counties. 27-year-old Miles Barry Davis was charged Tuesday in Douglas County with eluding police and hit and run. On the same day, Chelan County prosecutors filed charges of eluding, theft, and vehicle prowling. Davis and his passenger, 31-year-old Americo Dreesen Flight, allegedly used a rented Dodge minivan while stealing a purse and a backpack from parked cars in Wenatchee last Thursday, and then fled from police across the George Seller Bridge, collided with another vehicle, and got as far as the south side of Blewett Pass before Washington State Patrol troopers finally stopped them in Kittitas County. Well, coming up next, a Rock Island man is accused of concealing a cell phone in a bathroom to record women in moments of privacy. The owner of Works Gyms in the Wenatchee Valley angrily challenged the logic behind Governor Jay Inslee's shutdown orders in a video posted this week. That was by the Washington State Fitness Alliance. The Wenatchee School District has set a new tentative schedule for when students could return to in-person classes. And the Washington State Apple Blossom Festival has been one of the most visible casualties of the COVID-19 crisis. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
So Pam, how's your mom doing?
She's okay. She's struggling. She'd like to stay in her house, and it's getting harder for her to do the daily chores.
What kinds of problems is she having?
Just basic house cleaning, taking care of her house, yard work, taking care of her medicine.
Mm-hmm. It does sound exhausting.
It is very exhausting, and I always worry about her.
Aging and Adult Care can assist you or your loved one to remain comfortably and safely in their own home. Contact them today to start the conversation.
Here's to 5 billion miles of amazing. 5 billion miles of...
This is so cool.
5 billion miles of helping you stay safe. 5 billion miles of passing the pump. 5 billion miles of... That's 5 billion miles driven around the world. The all-electric 2020 Nissan Leaf.
The extended range 2020 Leaf is now available at Town Nissan, right behind Costco in East Wenatchee.
Welcome back. In another news, a Rock Island man is accused of concealing a cell phone in a bathroom to record women in moments of privacy. Martin Ruiz Jr. is charged in Douglas County Court with 3 counts of first-degree voyeurism. Sheriff's deputies say a member of Ruiz's household discovered the phone on December 5th while it was recording. The captured video allegedly showed 2 females using the bathroom, one of them just 5 years old. Deputies arrested Ruiz that day. He's due to be arraigned December 21st. Well, the owner of Works Gyms in the Wenatchee Valley angrily challenged the logic behind Governor Jay Inslee's shutdown orders in a video posted this week by the Washington State Fitness Alliance. Blair McCaney, who is president of the Alliance, said by shutting down fitness centers, Inslee is costing lives, not saving them.
Governor Inslee, I've heard we're in this together. We're not in this together. You've excluded fitness every step of the way, so we're not in this together. All of us have the opportunity to save lives. That's what we've been doing our entire careers, is saving lives. And the people that are getting hurt by this are those that are of the lowest income. The people that are getting hurt the most by this are not our athletes and our young, strong individuals coming into the gyms. The people that are getting hurt the most by this are those that need it the most. Those that depend on our clubs to stay well. Those that depend on our clubs for their mental health. Those that have been, training through pregnancy. Those that have been, using our clubs to fight off aging and are now sitting at home and can't go outside because it's cold and dark out. It gets dark at 3:30. Now, my clubs will have been closed for 8 months, along with the other clubs in these 5 counties. You're wrong. You're wrong about saving lives here. You're costing lives right now. You're costing lives by keeping fitness shut down. And you should have to sleep on that one, because you are costing lives.
The Wenatchee School District has set a new tentative schedule for when students could return to in-person classes. Administrators say they'll start bringing back third graders for hybrid classroom time, and that'll happen on Monday, December 14th. After an evaluation period in early January, fourth graders might begin classroom work January 11th, fifth grade students January 20th, and middle through high schoolers all back on January 26th. Those dates are all subject to change. The district paused most of its plans to reintroduce in-person learning when COVID-19 rates skyrocketed around the Wenatchee Valley. But Superintendent Paul Gordon says he believes the district can keep kids safe from the virus in class.
By now, huge COVID rates in the community. What we've learned over these roughly 4.5 weeks, our schools continue to be safe. Medical experts, national experts, for the first time, are finding some alignment on this topic. From Dr. Fauci, the nation's infectious disease doctor, CDC, the World Health Organization are saying this school should be the priority. Not bars, not restaurants, not these other pieces. Schools need to be the priority here. So we hear that. And again, I want to emphasize that hasn't always been the consistent message there. So right now, that's what we're hearing.
The Washington State Apple Blossom Festival has been one of the most visual casualties of the COVID-19 crisis. Director Darcy Christofferson says the festival board has now canceled its third largest annual fundraiser, the annual auction that was scheduled for January 23rd. The festival parade and other events were canceled this year due to the pandemic, but planning continues for the 2021 festival next spring. NCWLIFE will carry the virtual Apple Blossom Royalty Selection Pageant that's coming up February 27th of 2021. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's features story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
Traditional values and innovation in honoring the life of each family we serve is part of the ministry of Heritage Memorial Chapel. Our staff is committed to walk with your family with compassion through this time of grief. We are here to help and here to serve, the right kind of help when you need it most. Heritage Memorial Chapel.
Family roles change with time. You may find yourself being an unpaid caregiver to a loved one. Caregiving can be rewarding, but also stressful. Taking care of yourself is vital. Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington has low or no cost services for unpaid caregivers, such as in-home support, care supplies, and counseling. Connect in your local area by calling Aging and Adult Care at 800-572-4459 and mention you're interested in caregiver support.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. Volunteers for the Les Schwab Community Toy Drive are spending Friday afternoons and most of Saturdays at Hooked on Toys, collecting donations for this year's effort. In tonight's features story, NCWLIFE Channel's Toy Drive Connection, Eric Granstrom tells us more.
More than 1,500 children are in need, according to recipient organizations such as Serve Wenatchee Valley, CASA, Women's Resource Center, the Bruce House, and others. Hundreds of new unwrapped toys were dropped off last weekend, along with several cash donations as well. The purpose is to make sure needy children in the Wenatchee Valley have a toy to unwrap Christmas morning. Local scout troops were out braving the cold last weekend to help promote the fact that a toy drive was going on.
My name is Fiona.
Fiona,
Love it. What is it?
Gavin.
Gavin, okay.
Emily.
Emily, and you are?
Kitty.
And you are?
I'm the trip leader, Wendy.
Oh, hi, Wendy. Well, guys, are you freezing to death? No? A little. Well, what is it? Why are you guys here?
We're here to help get poor homeless people off of the street and to help them out, to make sure that they have a good Christmas and to make sure that every kid in America has a good Christmas, has a present to unwrap, and a surprise.
That's awesome.
To feel
That's awesome.
like they're loved.
Yes.
Because they are.
That is awesome. So, are you waving the signs? What are you doing? Or just waving in general? Waving in general, okay.
Toy Drive volunteers will again be at Hooked on Toys this Friday from 4 to 6 and Saturday from 10 to 4. There's also several drop-off locations throughout the valley. Search Les Schwab Community Toy Drive on Facebook or go to lstoydrive.org for more information. For NCWLIFE Channel News, I'm Eric Grandstrom.
Well, it's a great cause. Please help out if you can. Let's take a look now at your North Central Washington weather forecast. Great to be back here at the NCWLIFE channel, and weather, it hasn't changed much since I've been gone, that's for sure. We've seen a lot of these cloudy days with inversions and temperatures holding steady pretty much between about 35 and maybe 42 degrees, and that's what we're seeing once again today out there. A lot of those low-hanging clouds as we look down from our Omi Gardens Sky-Fi Tower camera down at the Wenatchee Valley. Today's high temperatures reflected those cool temperatures once again. 32, the freezing mark, is all we made it to today. 33 is our normal high. 28 is where we started our day, and that's a few degrees warmer than we should be at 24. Record high 51. That was in 1967. Record low 2 in 2009. Sunset will be this afternoon, or was this afternoon, I should say, at 4:10. We will start gaining some light in about 10 days or so. Let's take a look at what we can expect as far as the next 7 days. Tonight, cloudy skies. We will see patchy fog develop overnight, so that could make for a little bit of a slick commute tomorrow morning. Maybe an isolated snow shower tonight, too. We're not going to rule that out overnight. As we get into the end of the week on Friday, a lot of clouds out there. A little bit of fog in the morning, then cloudy, a 20% chance for, I think, mainly rain mixed with snow showers. Most of it should stay in the southwestern part of Washington state. It's all from this area of low pressure that's sliding up and now really organizing as we get into Saturday, and that will bring us a 60% chance for afternoon and evening snow showers on Saturday. Here we go late in the day on Saturday. You can see that storm system moving in about 1 to 3 inches at the most possible for most of us here in north central Washington. On Sunday, maybe some morning snow showers turning over to a rain-snow mix by afternoon. We'll call it about a 50% chance of the wet stuff on Sunday. That'll go down to 30% chance on Monday. A bit of a break on Monday with partly cloudy skies. Most of whatever we see on Monday will be late in the day with a 30% chance, as we mentioned, as the next round of storminess moves our way. And you can see on Tuesday, inundated with rain and rain mixed with snow around the state. I think we will see that mix next Tuesday with that 60% chance of the wet stuff. By the end of our forecast on Wednesday, still cloudy skies, but we will be mild. So I think whatever we see on Wednesday will be mainly rain showers with high temperatures hovering right around 40, maybe into those lower 40s. Let's take a look now, a quick look at your 7-day forecast. And tonight, 29 degrees, 38 with showers tomorrow. Not much of a chance, a better chance Saturday night into Sunday, 36 and 37 your weekend highs. And then as we get into the first part of next week, we'll be cloudy with the chance for showers with highs right around 40. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Grandstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
My name is Anaisa Lemus, and I teach at John Newberry Elementary. I had a tooth in the front that was just always causing me problems. It was just happening so regularly. I went to go get a root canal done, and the root canal didn't help a whole lot because then it came back. Both of my parents went to Dr. Divis's office. They really recommended him because he had done such a great job on their teeth. I went and really have had a really pleasant experience with him. He just made me feel really at ease with everything. He was really confident with what he was doing. He said, this is one of his favorite parts of his job, which really made it easier for me because, when you're really passionate about something, they're going to do a good job. As a teacher, my students, I'll tell them randomly sometimes, oh yeah, with my fake tooth. They're always so shocked, like, what? It looks like your real tooth. And I'm really happy with the results now.
This is Dr. John Divis. Please call us today.
At this time of the year, when we think about giving, please consider an end-of-the-year donation to the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. Although programs are on hold currently, the Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center is preparing and distributing hundreds of meals each week to seniors in their homes. The Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center is host to Vibrant Motion, Vibrant Living, a new way to reach the community through television programming. Volunteer, donate, shop, and support your Wenatchee Valley Senior Activity Center. And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Thursday to you. We'll start things off with a look at the Les Schwab scoreboard in men's college basketball last night. Noah Williams scored 19 points, including a pair of free throws with 10 seconds left to rally Washington State over Idaho. 61-58 the final. Cougars trailed by as many as 11 points of the game and were down by 9 in the second half when Williams kicked off a 19-0 run with 4 free throws. Isaac Bonton scored 12 points for WSU with 8 rebounds, while Andrzej Jakimovski chipped in 11. Cougars are off to a 4-0 start. Will host Portland State on Sunday at 2 o'clock. Well, Cade Green scored 18 points. Nate Pryor added 13, and Washington picked up its first win of the season with a 73-40 win over crosstown rival Seattle last night. The 41 points by Seattle tied the second fewest allowed by a Mike Hopkins coach team at Washington. In earning its first win, the Huskies topped 70 points for the first time this season, shooting 46% from the field, 8 of 15 from beyond the arc. Washington will host Oregon Saturday at 5 o'clock. Well, speaking of Washington, Mike Varell of the Seattle Times is reporting the University of Washington has paused all team-related activities in its football program due to an increase in positive COVID-19 tests. Now, that means the status for Saturday's game against Oregon is unclear. This is the first time this season that Washington, which had games against California and Washington State canceled due to COVID-19 issues with its opponent, has had to pause team activities. Huskies were to undergo additional PCR testing. They're hoping to get those back today to help with a determination for what's going to happen on Saturday. Of course, this all throws the next week Pac-12 championship game in question as well if the Huskies are not able to play this Saturday. Well, tonight is hockey night here on the NCWLIFE channel. Starts our week of sports broadcast right here at 7 o'clock. The Wild take on the Surrey Eagles in a game from last January at the Town Toyota Center. Our good buddy Arch Ecker has the play-by-play.
And then Overland drills it in, and he absorbs a huge hit by Ackle on the near wing. Over to the far boards. Eagles turn it over. Chorsky shoots and he scores! Nico Chmielewski stole it away down in the left wing corner. And he threw it out in front for Chorsky. And Chorsky with a little one-timer just punched it in low on the glove side. And the rebound played by the Eagles, gloved by Maine, but then off a body. Trickles out to center. Here's Tellier. He's in, he dangles, he shoots, and he scores. Christophe Tellier. Kim's going to end up with the puck, though, after a couple of touches. And back the other way. Here come the Eagles. In, shot, and a save made, but the rebound is driven in. O'Hearn picks it up. And it gets his pocket picked by Sam Morton. He's in, he shoots, he scores! Sam Morton with an unassisted tally.
Game tied at 2. Who's going to win? Well, tune in tonight at 7 o'clock to find out who wins that contest. Following hockey, tomorrow night we'll have high school hoops, Big Nine doubleheader. Eastmont hosts Davis with the girls at 7, boys at 8:30. Then on Saturday it's Eastmont and Wenatchee basketball from Wenatchee High School. The girls game at 2 o'clock. Get it straight, Eric. The boys game at 7. Well, it's taken most of the season for Seahawks fans to be able to see the potential of first-round draft pick Jordan Brooks. Linebacker out of Texas Tech was injured early on and saw spotty playing time. Now he's a regular starter and had his best game last weekend against the Giants. Veteran linebacker Bobby Wagner says Brooks has had the right approach this season and is taking tips for both he and KJ Wright on how to improve.
Kind of coming in, quiet at first, want to kind of,
figure out, who's in the building and how, like, where do I fit in the program and things of that nature. Coming from a smaller school, I think Utah State is smaller than Texas Tech, but, coming from a school that wasn't really well known for certain things, and coming in just wanted to make your mark. And I didn't start right away when I got here. I was starting on base, and I didn't start, I think, until like the 6th game. So you try to, share that knowledge to them, because I know when guys come in, they want to, be the star that they were, in college, and it just doesn't work like that. You have to, learn a very complex defense, and you have to just find a way to get better every week, which I think he's doing. And, he's leaning on me and KJ a lot. I think me and KJ have both spoken that, we're an open book, and we want to give our knowledge, because at the end of the day, we want to help, people feed their families. And so I think he's understanding that, listening, and he's been playing better and better every week, and I'm excited to see his growth.
Defensive coordinator Ken Norton Jr. says Brooks has been a sponge this season, soaking up any information that comes his way.
It's really fun to watch a young player like Jordan just keep gathering information. The more plays he gets, the better he gets, the better questions he's asking, the better decisions he's making. And it happens with all players, but in his situation, he's got so much talent, and it's such a different game than he played in college. It's so much more disciplined. We're playing a lot more defenses. He has a lot more responsibility. He has to deal with the other leaders and his accountability to the rest of the team. And he's putting all that together and putting together a really solid few games. So I'm really excited about his development so far, and it's only going to get better.
Brooks is coming off a 10-tackle performance against New York last Sunday. For Jordan, he says the hardest part of the season has been dealing with restrictions around COVID and not being able to create friendships with the team.
I think the most difficult part about this whole COVID issue and then restrictions is just not getting a lot of time outside the facility to get with the guys and really form relationships and really get that one-on-one time with guys outside the facility. So I'll probably say that's been the biggest issue.
Jordan Brooks will be alongside Bobby Wagner and KJ Wright Sunday when the Seahawks battle the New York Jets. Kick off Lumen Field at 105 on CBS. That's sports. Grant, welcome back. Back to you.
Thank you very much, Eric. And now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thank you very much, Grant. It's so good to have you back, because now I don't have to do the weather forecast. We can let somebody who knows what they're talking about do the weather forecast. Tomorrow on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, it is the weekly update from Dr. Malcolm Butler. Better Together. Dr. Malcolm Butler, of course, is a family physician with Columbia Valley Community Health, and he's also the Chief Health Officer of the Chelan Douglas Health District. He'll give us the latest update on the COVID-19 pandemic. Plus, we'll preview the weekend weather-wise. I'm dreaming of a white... Well, Christmas is a ways off. And if I sing anymore, we have to pay Irving Berlin. And I don't really want to do that either, even though he's dead. Join me tomorrow, 7 o'clock, live and local with everything you need to start your weekend with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll see you then. Grant, back to you.
Thank you very much, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
Doghouse Motorsports just won Best Motorsports Store for the 7th year in a row. Is it the great facility? Is it the fantastic products? Or is it?
I'm Bobby.
And I'm Tabor.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Glenn.
Hi, I'm Todd.
I'm Jeff.
And this is the Doghouse Service Team.
Hi, I'm Dee.
And I'm Dwayne.
And I'm Kathy.
Come on in and experience the Doghouse.
Are you in the Doghouse?
When you call Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning, you get 35 years of experience and customer service in the Wenatchee Valley. Dick's friendly staff strongly believe in repairing before replacing and service all major brands of HVAC units. Dick's Heating and Air Conditioning is your local, independent, trained comfort specialists proudly serving all of North Central Washington. Call 884-6444 today.